Good evening to all of you out there. The few, I just won't even get into that. So there's something in this world that I just find highly aggravating, and it's that there are no men capable or qualified to teach anything out of this book. And I'm going to get into what I even mean by that. And I won't blow smoke up your nose like so many people do who wield such a book and tell you stuff they're not even qualified to say. They're just doing it with a man's mind. And I'm going to use a little bit of this book and maybe shine some light on what I'm even talking about. How that men are not capable or qualified to even teach or share out of this book. So anyway, here we go. As I've said before in other videos, the basic qualification of what a God even is, you can find in John 10:34-35. Lays it out real simple like. If it needs to get any more complex than that, just imagine superpowers. But anyway, for simplicity. The religions of this world, and it's been this way since the dawn of time, are full of men who have really progressed nothing. They have not pushed forward. They've not caused anybody else to learn anything and go forward because they're just not capable. I know I'm beating that one in the head that men are not capable. And the history, even within the book, backs this up. Now I'll get into it. John 1:18 says, "No man has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him." No man has seen God at any time. Now, just go backwards in the book to the Old Testament and you will find many examples where there were, dare I say, men that did see God. This is not a contradiction. The history and what you're getting out of the Old Testament is not about men. It's about something else. Abraham seen God, Moses seen God, Ezekiel seen God, so on and so forth, other ones that have. And it's not a contradiction, it's just they weren't men. They were gods. Hard to take in. I know the church can't do it, but that's their problem. That they can't get over this roadblock, this stumbling block. And the stumbling block is just them, the man mind. I'm just going to put some emphasis on it just one more time and read it slower if you need to. But key words in this little John 1:18 is no man. Because man with a man's mind don't see God. Only gods see God. And only gods go to heaven. You can Jesus this and Jesus that and quote me scriptures all day long and be real churchy and be real worldly and follow that world program and do everything. But that does not mean that you're qualified. Just because you can read a book and just because you can talk about Jesus and quote some scripture to me does not mean that you are in. Do that till you're blue in the face. There's millions of people doing that and they're not one step closer to in than when they began. Because they're not understanding gods. They're not understanding that if you are a son of God, that makes you more than just a man. That doesn't mean you got to be all big about it or whatever. It's just simple dynamics. Made simple, and it's all throughout a lot of books actually. But it's all throughout this Bible that most people read, a lot of people read or don't read. Well, the first clue I give you to think upon is the wording of men or man in the Bible. The second one I'm going to give you, of course, take it as you will, is the use of the word we. And of course, depends on who's saying it in the Bible. So, the way the word man is used, or men, and we. And I'll give you the example here in a second. Okay, I found it. 1 Corinthians 6:3. Do you not know we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? The we usage. He's not talking about every single man out there. He's not even talking about men. He's talking about gods. Because men can't do it. Men, with men's minds, they can't see nothing but what's in their face, what's physical. They don't even know what angels are. They just heard about it. They don't have no first-hand experience of anything about them, what they do, how they operate. They just know whatever the fairy tale world told them. So they're not even qualified. It's not going to happen. One more example of we, and there's plenty of them in there. I'm just going to give these just because you can figure the rest out on your own if you can. Is 1 Corinthians 13:12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. Once again, the we thing. Nobody that I know of just steps into it and sees the whole picture. It's gradually learned because, as it says, you see through a glass darkly. Your eye just don't pop open and everything comes in. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe you're that special. Salute to you. But the bits and pieces that you get that are given to you, they're yours. Do what you got to do with them. He gave them to you for a reason. So, once again, we, referring to gods. I'll throw another we in there, and also I'm going to throw in us, because this ain't a one-man show. There's more of you out there somewhere. Surely. No, there are. 1 John 3:1. Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knows us not, because it knew him not. If you're God's son, if you're God's child, then that don't make you an animal. It don't make you a man. It makes you a God. If you think I'm full of crap about this God stuff that I'm talking about, then that's your opinion. That's fine. But if you're a Christian and you're talking all this smack about how you're going to be like Jesus and you're going to be Christ-like and you're going to do all these things and be like him, then it's not going to happen, because if you're just operating on a man's mind, that will never happen, because that would be an impossibility. Only a God's mind could even comprehend anything of God to ever be anything like him. Romans 14:1 says, Him that is weak in the faith receives you, but not to doubtful disputations. And that person has a man's mind. Disputes anything and everything that somebody says that they cannot understand. It's always received with doubt and disbelief, because it's foreign to them, because it hasn't been given to them. They've just operated on this man's mind. They've probably just operated on whatever another man handed to them and told them to believe. Very sad. All heads bowed, all eyes closed, nobody looking around. I see you little kids in the back playing. You better cut that out. I'm just kidding. Everybody in the audience, say, we. Thank you. Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves. If you're operating on a man's mind, this is not talking about you. You're back in 14:1. I don't do none of this stuff because I need a kick. I don't do all this stuff for attention, make videos, make Facebook posts, talk to people. It's not about me. It's not about boosting my morale. I could care less. But there is a mission to do, and it's because, hey, I feel sorry for men. I want better things than this world is offering you. And this world is holding you back by teaching you stuff they're not qualified to do. And I'm sure you can say, well, you're not qualified either. I've offered you something just in this video better than the world church has offered anybody in thousands of years. However long they've been in business. I don't even care anymore. So anyway, I guess we're done here. I'm going to let you go back to what you're doing. Have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for watching.